Hi everyone, welcome to Storeino. In this video, I'm going to show you how to change everything related to the checkout page and also take you on a tour on the checkout page and all the settings related to it. So when you log into your account, go to the settings and then click on the checkout. Here, as you can see, this page will show up and this all you need to customize everything related to your checkout page. First of all, here we have the checkout style. When we click on it, as you can see in this case, we have 4 designs that are completely different. You can, of course, choose any of these designs that are available in your store. And also here we have, as you can see, we have different colors for different buttons. You can, of course, change the color of each one of these buttons here. As you can see, for example, the buy now button, which is obviously in the color green. When we click on the name of the button here, as you can see, this page will show up where you can, of course, change the color of your button, and you can do that with all the buttons in your checkout page. Here also we have the checkout title. For example, as you can see, my checkout page doesn't have a title, but you can add a title by simply type in your title here. As you can see, complete your purchase. For example, in my case, I just go ahead and write it. And as you can see here in your right, you have the preview page where you can actually see the changes before they are actually updated in your store. And before you click on confirm here, as you can see, you can of course see the changes before they are made in your store. Here we have also the customer first name, the last name, and of course we have another option, which is the customer's full name. Of course, you can only use one of these two options here. As you can see, if we enable the customer's full name, as you can see, it will automatically deactivate or disable the customer first name and the last name. Of course, if I go ahead and only enable one of these two here, as you can see, the second one will be automatically enabled as it is required for all information of your customers. Here also we have the customer email, which is basically just the case where your customers will put their emails. And of course here we have the advanced option, which is basically available for all these settings here. As you can see, you can of course click on the show advanced options, and you can of course change the placeholder and of course the error message, etc. Well, you can also change here, as you can see, if this information is required for you or not. For example, if the email is not required for you to complete the purchase to your customers, you can of course remove the check mark here. As you can see, just remove the blue check mark and it will not be required. As you can see here in the preview page, all the informations that are required have a red star here, as you can see, but for the email, because it's not required in this case, it doesn't have that red star. We also have the customer password here. As you can see, if you want to add this feature to, this is the customer phone, which is basically a lot of these are only related to the information of your customer. Here we have, of course, for the address, we have two addresses, but for the phone one here, as you can see, when we click on it, we have of course this option where we can choose the minimum characters, the minimum number of characters that your customer can write in the label of the phone number, or in the case of the phone number, and of course the maximum number of characters that you can write. For example, here I have 10 as a minimum and of course 22 as a maximum, so no customer can write a number below 10 and no customer can write a number above 22. For the address here, as you can see, we have two addresses. We have the first address and the second address. Of course, you can enable them both, but if you only need one address, just go ahead and enable this one. And as I already said, here you have the required mark here, as you can see, and we have, of course, the advanced options for all these information. Here we have the country, we have the province, and we have the city. As you can see here in the preview page, the country case and the province page or case are on a drop list style. Here, as you can see, when you click on the province or the country, it is in a drop list style, but the city is only a case where the customer can write their name of their city. You can of course change that by just click on the customer city and disable the allow city writing. We have already done a video explaining something related to the shipping and all the settings related to it, and we explained the importance of deactivating this here. As you can see, when we deactivate, as you can see here, the city is now in a drop list style, as you can see in the preview page. You can also, here as you can see, the customer note, you can also enable that for another option. As you can see here, when we enable it, it shows in the preview page. This case will allow your customers to actually leave you a note either on the product or in the store in general, or for the order, etc. You can of course choose whether it's required or not. And lastly, here we have another option. For example, if you want to allow your customers to choose whether they want their order to be shipped to a different address, just go ahead and enable it, and as you can see, it will show up and your customer will be able to use it. The second part of the checkout page or the checkout list here is the cart. When we click on the cart, we have a different set of settings. Of course, we have once again we have the style of or the design of your cart. As you can see, you can of course choose the design you want, and of course we have the shipping here. As you can see, for the shipping, we have already done videos explaining all the settings related to the shipping, and of course here we have the fixed shipping price option. When we fix the shipping price option, that means that this number that we put in this case will be applied on all the products and all the orders in our store. And of course here we can of course enable the option of free delivery from a specific amount of an order. For example, for in my case it's 2050. Here as you can see, of course when we deactivate the fixed shipping price, here as you can see we have choose your shipping company method, and of course the error message that will show up to your customers if they choose a wrong area or a wrong city that it is not available in your shipping. Just go ahead and watch the video of the shipping companies. Here we also have the payment. We also done a video explaining all the settings related to the payment methods and how to add them to your store. Of course, here we have two options. You can also let your customer choose the payment method they want. For example, if you have two or three or whatever number of the payment methods in your store, you can let your customer choose. But of course, you can choose a specific payment method. For example, if we only want to accept payments via PayPal, just go ahead and choose PayPal. If you use cash on delivery, go ahead and choose your cash on delivery, etc. Here also have the coupon. Here as you can see we have the coupon or the discount. Of course we done a video explaining how to add a coupon code to your store. You can of course just go ahead and disable it or enable it as you want. Here we have the text, which are basically all as you can see, all the sentences and all the expressions and all the words that you see in the cart page here, as you can see, are editable, and you can of course edit any text you want. As you can see, just go ahead and click on the text that you want to edit or change, and put the new text that you want to be shown in your cart page. Here we have the after checkout page. You can of course choose whether you want to be a preview page shown in the after checkout. Of course, here we have the show upsell page. We have done a video explaining the importance of using the upsell page. I recommend you check the video to understand how the upsell page will impact your store in a positive way. So of course, if you want to enable it, just make sure that this button here is green, as you can see. And lastly, we have the checkout security. You can of course enable this option to make your store a lot safer, and of course to make the experience easier for your customers, and of course to make or to let the robots away from your store. When you enable it, of course, here you can choose the number of orders before showing the captcha. We have already done a video explaining how to use this feature. Of course, the video is about the fake users. I recommend you also watch the video to understand the importance of this feature here to make your store a lot safer, and of course to make the experience a lot easier for your customers. So as you can see here, when you're all done with all the information, just go ahead and click on confirm, and of course you can see the changes in your store right immediately. So that was everything for this video. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask in the comments, and we will make sure to answer you as soon as possible. Thank you.